from the Cup Series. So while the Cup Series are making their cuts on Sunday, these guys will have one more week to get it done in the first round. Coming up on Ryan Sieg there, you can see the red spoilers, red bumpers, red splitter in the front, indicating playoff drivers. And you thought the same thing for Sieg, Jeff, not necessarily known as a road course specialist, but runs well, and in the anything can happen atmosphere of the Roval, 39 could have a chance.
He does run well on road courses. Not great, but well, and I think this could be an opportunity. Same way for Nugent. And I like this. I like, we talk about this all the time. Fans are always asking, why don't cars run together on ovals? And there's a lot of reasons why they don't in practice. But at a place like this, I think it's a great idea to get behind another car and go out and see what that guy's doing, see if you're braking as far as he is, carrying as much speed in certain parts of the racetrack. I think there's a lot to learn by doing that.
I went by the start-finish line. They looked like neither one of them really wanted to be the lead car on that lap. Ended up being John Hunter. You can see Ryan Sieg's playoff key, capitalize on others' mistakes. Nemechek didn't make one right there. But he could, for sure. Maybe not being the front-running road course racer, Jeff. Others get to battling it out.
Yep.
Take advantage of that.
Anything can happen.
As the drivers make their way around, you see it. The place is gorgeous, by the way. Marcus Smith and everybody here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, they just make everything look so good. But the colors are significant. The red-white curving, that's okay to run over and no penalty. That includes the guy in 10th in the standings right now, Ryan Sieg, who currently in pre-qualifying inspection had some troubles. Kelly?
Yeah, Dave, not the way that you want to start race day, I suppose, for the 39 car and team of Ryan Sieg. They failed inspection 3 times, and so that meant a loss of a crew member. And in fact, I was just back there in the garage. You see the 39 car has now made it to the grid, so they can all breathe a sigh of relief because one more failure, and it would have meant Ryan starting from the rear and a pass-through penalty. But they got away relatively unscathed, not saying that losing a crew member is to any benefit, because certainly it's not, and they'll lose 30 minutes of valuable practice time come Dover's race next week. But Ryan was standing around in street clothes back in the garage, and this was all unfolding, and then he got the good news, go put your fire suit on. So he's doing that now, and he will have the opportunity to qualify.
Kelly, thank you for that report. Steve, a lot of details there, and not the kind of details you want to have to handle as a crew chief on race day.
Well, you don't want to deal with this on race day, and this Xfinity race overall is reasonably short. The first stint is only 20 laps, so if he would have had to start at the back, it's going to be very difficult to get stage points. He is in that battle. Currently below, you just said it, 19 points below. The pathway for this 39, while a win is great, I really feel the most accurate path is to get into that points bucket at every stage, and it would have been a huge penalty if he would have had to do it from the back.
So, Dale, as the driver mentality here, he pretty much can brush this off as he gets ready for the qualifying sessions, which will be a couple
down, up to speed, we don't care. So the 11 of Justin Haley, it's kind of, I call that a mental error, DJ. You can't make that in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would like to really see, if we're going to continue this, I would really like to see some area as you go through turn 1, that there can be an exit off of there to get back and cut through the garage area and come back to pit road somehow, instead of making the drivers go all the way around. Because the worst thing that can happen is you impede someone else's lap.
And NASCAR even got on the radio pre-qualifying and reminded everybody about the rules.
That's there.
Ryan Sieg with a non-memorable moment through the back chicane himself during his qualifying lap here.
And it cost him all the way down to 20th currently. That was not the lap 39 was hoping for.
He's going to stay out and take another one, Steve, right here. Which most of the top cars just took the one because they knew they were fine, but he knows that lap won't work.
Well, and here's some of the issue, right? Cole Custer doesn't know. Cole Custer and the spotter on the roof sees the 39 finishes lap, so he probably thinks, well, he's done.
Yep. Cole Custer cooling down after his lap.
I think Cole Custer has yet to make a run.
Yes.
Which I'm a little surprised by that. I would have run earlier, although maybe he just doesn't want the traffic on the racetrack. 38 points is enough for me if you keep it on the asphalt. But if you have an issue or a mechanical issue, if if I am the crew chief for Tyler Reddick, I'm having a conversation that this is not the day to prove we're road course racers.
Yeah.
This is not the day to take risk.
Yeah.
If someone challenges you doing a braking zone, I want you to let them go. They have more to gain than we are willing to lose, so let them go. If we run
Tough, though, on that exit. Good job by both those guys not to make contact.
Little damage to Brandon Jones, number 19. We saw the right door panel flared out there a bit.
great play of that start, Dale Jr., you mentioned it, the 39.
So he had already gotten the damage from the stack up way before, back in the restart zone. In front of you can potentially push that car into a mistake. We see the 39 car, Ryan Sieg, spun out here. Back straightaway chicane.
Yeah, playoff contender Ryan Sieg. So he didn't miss the chicane. He just got turned around in the chicane.
You can go through backwards as long as you go through it.
Yeah, as long as you go through it. He was 15th and already on this final lap. And Cole Custer even came to pit road and still got back up into the top 10 at the end of stage 1. Spin for Ryan Sieg. Got her going, though.
Trouble with Ryan Sieg. They had to push him on to pit road with the wrecker. Marty.
Playoff car in the 39. Marty?
Yeah, playoff car now in 11th place. Cole Custer still sitting on pit road. Suffice it to say, there was a lot.
As long as the splitter stays flat and close to the ground, shouldn't affect the aero of that car too much. See Ryan Sieg, unfortunately, being pushed behind the wall.
Tough for that team as they were hoping to advance out of round 1 of the playoffs.
Well, you mentioned advancing out of the playoffs. Well, there's been a lot of talk strategy and stages, and all of that matters because